Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Ultimate Racing League. We are Sunday League, the most popular league in the URL. We are with the AM2 guys at the penultimate round. Yes, the penultimate round before the last round, which will be in the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. But we'll look forward to that next week. But tonight we are here at the lovely and gorgeous Marina. Now, the admin team have told me that they've had a bit of a chat with the neighbours across the Strait of Hormuz, and they have decided that what we'll do is we'll stop bombing this area for an hour so that these lads can get out on track and enjoy themselves on the lovely Sunday afternoon. So the skies are clear. There's no missiles flying around, so these boys can just get on with their racing and then let them carry on once they've left the region. So, like I say, we are with the AM2 guys. So we're going to go down through the grid and see who is where. So, as before, it's an endurance race, so converted over to laps. So, lap 1, so there's 22 laps. All three, you got to excuse me, I've just had my dinner. All three compounds must be used in whichever order the drivers see fit. So, like I said, we're going to go down through the grid and see who is where. So, on pole position for the penultimate round, we have Max Desi Meridius. So, it's another pole from Max. Now, here we go. Like I said at the beginning of the season, when this chap showed up, I said I was excited to see what he can do. Now, he really is stretching his legs now, isn't he, folks? He's this is your IQ4, so he's in second spot. On third on the grid is the Scandi neighbour, and that is Hoyland. Fourth, we have Steel. Fifth, Slowpoke Racing, and as always, I'd just like to say a massive thank you for the Slowpoke Racing for sharing these replays, because without him, and on this other occasion as well, IQ4, you wouldn't get to sit down and enjoy the racing that these guys do. So, in sixth spot, we have Libillion. Seventh, we have Flash. Look at that, Flash has already got the old foot flat to the floor, isn't he? Waiting to go. In eighth, we have Luggy. In ninth, we have Castian. In 10th, we have Slim. 11th is Addy. And in 12th, we have Sid. So, as I said, this is the penultimate round, and by the looks of it, it's kind of like a bit of a mixed grid, mixed bag with the tyre strategy. So, here we go. It's the penultimate round. Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi, and off we go. Go for the collections on the 3 and the 4 and the 5, and we've had a jump start there from Max. That's going to hurt him dearly. That is. Just go forward to see how many spots he loses. So normally, if you do a jump start, it probably costs you about 3 seconds, and that has cost him. That's cost him dearly. Although he has pulled that place back on Slowpoke. Oh, got a little bit of a love tap there from Slowpoke Racing, didn't we? But no harm doing. They're all still there, still on track. But like I said, like I always like to do, we're going to go up front with our good old IQ. First of the Scandi boys. Going to make sure everyone gets round this corner. No skullduggery or anything like that. Yep, they are all there. And as you can see, IQ4, he's already pulled out a bit of a gap over his fellow Scandi, Hoyland. So looking good. Look at the gap he's got. He is on the softs though, as opposed to Hoyland, who is on the hard. So we're going to go back again. Going to see everyone get through here in one piece. You reckon they can do it? As Luggy went for a bit of a dive up the inside. Maybe it wasn't a dive. Maybe it was just outbraked himself. So these boys at the back, they kind of like want to catch up, don't they? Because we're nearly at the end of the first lap. So this part here, as we've got this going on here, that Steele's giving it the beans, isn't he? Max is coming under all sorts of pressure from Steele and Slowpoke. As we see, Slowpoke just runs a little bit wide. IQ4 is going to have to leave him at the moment because we've got some battling going on here. Max, Steele's got in front. He's eyeing up Hoyland as well. But we will leave this because we'll go back to IQ4 round the hotel section, I think this is called. The hotel section. I think it is. Here we go. Go around the last corner now. And then what we do is we'll come out of this view into broadcast mode. So here we go. Lap 1 of 22 completed. This is what you want to see. Look at this. Hoyland is coming under pressure from Still and Max. So these three really are giving it the beans, aren't they? They're going to beans, cutting the corners a little bit there. Hoyland's gone a little bit wide, so has Max. So tell you what we'll do. We'll go on. Look at this. All sorts of action going on. What's happened here? What's happened to Hoyland? Let's go back. Let's have a look. So Hoyland goes off track here. He's running a bit wide, but he does lift off Throttle, whose current URL rules state because this track is relatively new. PD hasn't actually, as of yet, managed to sort the track limits out and get the penalties, so that's why he's dropped off the pace there. So all out on his lonesome. Up the front is IQ4, so he is running on the softs. Still, he's managed to pull a gap on Max. He's running on the mediums. Max, who's in third, he's running on hards, and he's got Slowpoke for company. So this is going to be a case of the late breakers. Who's gonna break the latest? No, all looks very clean through there. Slowpoke thinking about it. Maybe he wants to get the slipstream for the second straight. So here we go. Now, how good is this slipstream? As you can see, he's directly behind him, so the slipstream is starting to kind of work. Is it going to be enough? He does have the inside line. So is Max, is Slowpoke going to get it done? And it does look like he has. Good overtake there from Slowpoke. Max is not giving up though, is he? He's thinking, right, you're not having that place without a fight. So he's just going to sit behind Slowpoke at this moment. Oh, look at that. Looks like he got a little bit put off by Slowpoke's braking there. Nothing Slowpoke did, to be fair. No, absolutely not. There's nothing that Slowpoke did wrong there. It just picks it. They've all got different braking points. So maybe Max's braking point's a little bit further up than Slowpoke's. But that has enabled Slowpoke to open up a gap back to Max. Max has got a bit of a gap back to Hoyland. Right, let's see, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to go up through, we're going to go down through the grid. So IQ4 in first place. He is running on the soft. Expecting to probably come in maybe around about, what are we on here, lap 3? Maybe about lap 10 or 12, 15 maybe. Depends how much fuel. I don't think the fuel really matters in this group, to be honest, but he really is out on his own. In second spot we have Still. He is running the mediums. And then we've got the first Slowpoke, so he's on the hards, being challenged hard by Max. Also running on the hard. Looks like he's going for a move up the inside. This is going to be a case of who puts their foot on the noisy pedal, as Slowpoke likes to say, and that will be Max. But Slowpoke now, let's have a look. He's now eyeing up Max again. So these two fighting is opening the door for Hoyland. So who's going to go? Is Slowpoke going to go for a move up the inside? No, he's thought better of it. Or a slight little love tap there from Slowpoke. Sends Max a little bit wide, not wide enough to make a difference. Slipstreaming, I'm not sure, because it is, I don't know what's going on with the slipstreaming, but I mean, let's watch this here. Let's see the gap. Yeah, no effect whatsoever because he wasn't close enough. Anyway, Slowpoke is on the hards. In fifth spot we have Hoyland. He is on the hards. Sixth spot on the hards as well is Lebillion. Good sixth spot that is for Lebillion, keeping it nice and clean. So I think that's the highest I've seen him up here this season. So fair play to him. Hang on a minute. Here we go. So the soft runner against the medium runner, and these two boys here giving it hammer and tong, isn't they? Through the hotel section, I do believe this is called. Oh, and here we go. We've got somebody all out of sorts. What's happened here? Hang on a minute. Where's he gone? Right, it's Castian. What's gone on here then? Or is it further up front? Not Castian, it's Lugnuts. Here we go. It was, oh, poor old Luggy, mate. He got rear-ended by poor Sid the Sloth. And that has let Cashin, which Sid had ghosted. Yee. Okay, that's unfortunate there for Luggy. As we say, like on the old Sunday racing, although it's competitive, it's not. I don't know what they're doing there. I was going to say it's not intentional. Right, anyway, let's go back up to here, because this is what we were watching before we saw in the background with Sid and Luggy. So here's we can see here. So Addy's gone a little bit wide, but he's done the sensible thing here. He's lifted off the throttle, because you know, we all know that in the URL you're not allowed to take advantage of running wide, because, like I said before, there's no penalties for it. I think there's a couple of penalty zones, but it's not been updated yet, so we'll wait for that until next time. As we can see here, so this is the first of the hard runners. So Max has decided he's had enough of them hard, so he's now back out of the mediums. In 8th spot on the mediums, started on the mediums I think, is Castrian. Slowpoke, he's come in, he's got rid of the hards, he's now running on the mediums. Slim, he's on the mediums, he's down in 10th. Luggy, I'm not quite sure what's happened to Luggy there. Let's go back and have a look on Ham, poor old Ham Cat. I don't know whether that's a disconnect or... Let's have a look and see what's happened. Very bizarre. Never seen that before. Never seen that before. Understeer. Or it could have just been a glitch. I'm going to say it's a glitch because it didn't. He had the wheel fully turned, so I don't think it's. It might be an understeer. Who knows? But that's managed to move Sid up to 11. So Lucky's got all that work to do again to get back up to get past Sid. So we go back up to the top now. Lap 4 out of 22. IQ4. He is on the softs and he's got quite a sizable gap back to Steele, who's on the mediums. Now, I think it probably will get sorted out next season, because a little birdie told me that he was able to run the whole 22 laps on the softs without even having to change them. They lasted, I think it was 22 laps, could have been 15 laps. 15 laps on the soft. Fuel is not an issue in this league, as I've said several times. So I'd expect to see next season that admin's they're gonna make a few changes, and to make it a little bit harder for the boys down driving the old Group 4s. So yeah, IQ4 out there all on his lonesome in first spot on the podium, also carrying the fastest lap of the 2:05.057. Then we go back to Steele. He's also on his lonesome. Not really going to be out of trouble, IQ4. For a couple of reasons, really, because IQ4's managed to put a gap pretty much right at the beginning, and he's also running on soft compound. Back in third, here we go. So the second of the Scandi boys, Hoyland's managed to work his way back up onto that podium. Not quite sure what happened there with poor old Hoyland. Let's have a look. Let's go back and have a look. Did he just outbrake himself, do you reckon? If you want to put a comment in there, let's have a look. So he brakes like normal, turns in. Looks like he hasn't got no grip. Oi, 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 oi. I've never seen that before. Not in a Group 4. He just literally slid, didn't he? Maybe those tyres are nice and cold. So that's enabled Lebillion to move up into the podium position. It is obviously early days, so it's still hard to determine who's going to finish where, other than the fact that, you know, I mean, IQ4, he's running the softs at the moment, but he's still got to use the other two compounds. In fourth, who was in third, is Hoyland. Lovely shade of blue that is, that Ferrari, absolutely lovely shade of blue. In fifth, nothing going on, his Flash is keeping himself to himself. In sixth, we've got Max, so he's already pitted. And we've got Cassian, and we've got Slowpoke. So let's have a little. What we're going to do is we're going to go round. Oh, look at that, a little bit wide. Some take this corner tighter than the others. So let's go on board with Slowpoke and let's go for a lap round Yas Marina, shall we? Yeah. As in we get to watch how some of these guys attack this track, like that. Maybe a bit questionable, maybe a bit wide. Whatever. I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble. I'm just trying to watch how people go around this track. So as we can see, yeah, nice and tight, not too wide. Nice, hug that nice corner there, and here we go. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's alright to me. But you can see it's got dark as well. I raced around here earlier, and I don't know whether it's because it's a new track with lighting in the dark. So I think most of the tracks on Gran Turismo, I don't think most of them have lighting, so it actually made me feel quite sick. I got like motion sickness from it, so I don't know whether it's just a one-off on this track in particular, but I've not been behind the wheel since Sunday, and it's Thursday. But hey, it's the last race next season anyway, so maybe I'll do the last one, or maybe I won't. It all depends how I feel. It's golf season, so golf comes first, as I say, even though I love the sim racing. As you can see here, Cashin's gone wide, and that's left the door, should we say, wide open, as Cashin goes wide again. Let's have a look. He's going to get around here. Going to stay within track limits, Cashin. Looks good to me. Nice tight angle on the apex. Next one through the hotel section. Slowpoke tried to put Cashin off by knocking that post off, but you're going to have some force to get that off. And here we go around to start lap 7. So we're going to go back to Addy, who's in 9th spot, all on his lonesome. He has pitted though, so he'll be looking to catch up to the back of these two boys. Slim, he's down in 10th. Yeah, lonely race. And then we've got Sid and we've got Lugnuts. So Lugnuts is almost caught up with Sid. Probably be just a matter of time before he gets taken. So back up to the top. So lap 7. I mean, he's doing pretty well, isn't he? Really, all things considered. No one anywhere behind him, so I don't know what lap he's going to come in. I reckon about lap 10 maybe. Maybe he's done the smart thing, thinking, do you know what? I'll pull out such a gap on the soft run that hopefully no one will catch me. So we'll wait and see what happens with IQ4. Again, what we've got steel, and look at the tyre wear. On lap 7, even on the mediums, they're barely worn. Fuels is exactly the same. Fuels is exactly the same for Hoyland as well. He's on the hards. The Billion, he's in 4th, chasing down Hoyland. Flash, he's on the softs, so he kind of it looks like he's being caught up by Max, to be fair. Lovely sounding cars, aren't they? There's another thing as well, I'd like to say, it's like, because we've got all the time in the world, because it's an endurance race, it's this, where is it? It's this one here. It's just to like, have a look and marvel at this track. I mean, I think this is one of the greatest looking. Just as I was about to go round, come on, and look at this. So here we go, to start finish. Look at the stadium. The rich, the poor. That's where we'll all be, most of us anyway. The rich and the poor. But it just looks incredible, doesn't it? It's night racing in the desert. And look at that. They're certainly not worried about the electric bill, are they? With the amount of lighting they've got around here. Just look at the stadium. all cheering on their favourite drivers. They're literally everywhere cheering them on, because that's a great corner, and as we can see on the billboard there. And then we go down, it's the back straight, a long straight. Look at that, that's the hotel section back there. So here we go, we've got some people in there as we come down there. I'll tell you what they've done, they really have placed the spectator stand in a fantastic position, because I mean I've got to take my hat off to them, because that looks absolutely spectacular, doesn't it? Spared no expense. And then you've got another massive stand here as well. So this part of the track, I'm not sure whether that's an endurance in or something like that, but look at the size of the stands. They're humongous. Especially when you go to somewhere like Silverstone, where it's just a load of scaffolding. But at least they've taken pride in this. So as we come round here, Richard Mill corner, this is where we start coming into the hotel section, where all these people are paying several thousands of pounds to watch these guys in the comfort of their own rooms through the hotel section. Here's the bridge that you can cross over into the paddock, and again here we go, and look at this, the fans can actually see them here as well. So last corner, and then it's on to the start-finish straight. So like I said, on the right, this is where all the rich and the wealthy are, and the crown princes of Abu Dhabi, and this is where all the poor people go. But even then, that's still a pretty spectacular stand. And while I've been babbling on, we have some guys that have come into the pits. So Hoyland and Levillian are in the pits now, so they've had enough of them halves by the looks of it, and that's promoted Slowpoke and Castrian up to 4th and 5th. Castrian carrying a half-second penalty, which he will serve in a minute on this lap. Hoyland's done and dusted, so he's now out on a nice fresh set of medium boots. As for Levillian as well, and that's enabled Addy, as these boys are now all concertining up. So Addy pitted earlier, and he's been out on the track. He's warm, medium, so he's now called back up to Hoyland and Levillian. Flash, he's just come out the pit, so he is on the hard, so he wants to get rid of those. Slim, he's on the medium, so I would expect him to catch up with Flash at some point. Luggy, he's finally got past Sid, and Sid's down in 12th, just admiring the sheer craftsmanship of the United Arab Emirates. So much so that he wants to leave his mark on the barriers, as you can see. So we'll go back up to the top. So lap 9 out of 22. I did kind of think that. So yeah, so he's finished lap 9, so he's going to start lap 10. He's had enough of them softs, so he's now come in. That's going to promote Steele up to the lead of the race, and what we'll have a look at is we'll see what compound IQ4 is going to decide to go on, as Max got 2 corners. IQ4's out already. I'm pretty sure he's not just come out on the softs. Surely not. Oh, I was getting a bit panicky then. As I kept looking at that thinking, no, he's just been on the softs. Why would you come in and change the softs again? So, whoo! Old PD's giving me a bit of a jump there, thinking, no, has he messed it up by coming back out on the soft? But he hasn't. So he's back out on the medium, so he's on the same compound as Steele. And he's not actually that far behind him when you look. He's only up there. Shows you how big a gap he had. So, really, out of everybody, I mean, it's IQ4's to lose by the looks of it, as they are all starting to get a bit spaced out. So Max has moved back up to 3rd. Slowpoke looked like he'd gone off track, but he hasn't. It's just a glare from the light. He's in 4th. Cassian still carrying that half-second penalty, so he's going to serve that. Unless he's got another half-second penalty. Let's have a look. Why are you getting half-second penalties? I'll be interested to know. Where were we? Lap 10. Let's see where you got that one from. So you had half-second. Here we go. I'll go back to lap 10. I just want to see where he's getting that half second penalty. Wow. Okay. Oh, we got it for there. Oh, he's getting half second penalties everywhere. Alright, we'll leave him to it. Let's go forward. Here we go. So this is... Let's go on board with Cashin. Let's see. We'll have an example of who's getting half second penalties. So he's got the half second penalty there. So he's going to come down this straight. And yes, here we go. So you will be forced to decelerate at the next penalty line, Mr. Cashin. You need to keep it within track limits. I mean, the track limits are quite wide anyway, but I think you're kind of like taking the mick a little bit of that. That must be what the FIA stewards and the URL stewards are saying to him. Right, here we go. Half second penalty served for young Cashin. As you see, Slowpoke is now being able to pull out a little bit further. So here we go, Cashin coming around. Nice and tight, not too tight enough so that you're going to end up giving yourself another penalty. Looks like he's got around there pretty clean, as you do. Interested to see whether Cashin decides whether it's time to pull the trigger and head into the pits to get rid of them medium boots and put a set of either softs or hards on. So let's see whether Cashin comes into the pit, shall we say. As we go round the first of the two. Okay. Is he in? He is in. There we go. So Cashin comes into the pits. He's going to get rid of their mediums. That's going to promote Lebillion and Hoyland up ahead. So, what do you reckon? Your guess? Mediums. I reckon he's going to go. I reckon he can do a couple of laps on the hards and get rid of them and go back on the softs. Get onto the softs. So again, that promotes Addy up to 7th. Flash is up to 8th. Cashin, he's now coming out. So let's see what he's going to put on. I reckon he's going to put on the hards. He'll want to do... I can't remember what it is actually. I think it's two laps as luggage coming in as well. So... Oh no, okay, so fine. He's actually come out on the soft. Maybe I missed him at the beginning. Maybe he was already on the hards. I'm not sure. Or maybe he's going to run right up until probably 2 laps to go and then run the hards. It wouldn't be a bad shout, would it? And so we'll go down here to Sid. Sid's in the 11th spot. Luggy's in the pits. So he's come and got rid of them tyres. So he's come out also on... He's on the softs as well. Okay. So we'll go back up to the top. And as we can just see, they're still coming round. You can just about see IQ4. It looks like he really is pushing hard. There we go. Cashin will see that. Not Cashin. Still will see that yellow Ferrari in his rear view mirror. It's just all about how and when still he's going to decide that he's going to come into the pits to get rid of the mediums. Barely even more, are they? Look on IQ4s. So he will have soon a rear view mirror full of IQ4. Max is kind of like a little bit in no man's land. He's not close enough to the guys in front, so he won't be getting any slipstreaming. So he's kind of like, barring the fact that he kind of like stalled out, if you know what I mean. You stall because you've got nobody in front, you've got nobody behind. So Slowpoke, he's quite a distance back from Max as well. So these two guys aren't able to take the advantage of having a slip. So it's all going to come down to the driver, whoever's quickest, because I mean there's quite a few straights on here, and Middlestein can get a bit boring, as I found out when I was racing around here. Middlestein, because there's no one around, he's driving round and round and round, waving at all the fans and checking out all the sponsors like Castor and Aldar for the track, and of course, blimey, and of course Pop-Up & Co. I always forget to name them. Maybe it's because I can't be bothered. I don't need to, because I'm part of Pop-Up & Co. anyway. So anyway, big up to the old Pop-Up & Co. boys, girls, chaps down in good old Australia. Anyway, Slowpoke's in 4th. Hoyland, here we go. We finally found And we found a battle. Hoyland and Nabillion. Here we go. Both on the medium. So again, it's all down to the driver. Nabillion taking a little bit of a tighter line. You think he'd try and stick behind Hoyland, or is he just not interested? Or is he just thinking, do you know what, the slipstream's so poor that I've really literally got to be kissing his bumper for it to even matter. As he spits out a bit of flame there from the fuel injected. It does look like he's catching him a little bit, but because they're both on the same tyres, same cars, it's all going to come down to who gets round the apexes quicker. And by the looks of it, it's Nabillion. Nabillion's on it. He's got him. Hoyland must be looking in his rearview mirror. That put you off massively. Come out of there. These two. Still's in the pits. He's trying to get rid of them, and he's come out on the hards. So, whoa. So he's just coming out now. Where's Slowpoke? Slowpoke's there on the mediums. Where is Still? There he is. There we go. You can just see. You can just see up ahead. So the mediums are softer compound. There's no denying that. It's got a little bit more fuel, so he can spend a little bit more fuel. Now, legend has it that this is one of Slowpoke's. This is his race car. So he will have a practice car. And do you know why I know that? Because some drivers do it, some drivers don't. Same for this guy here, 7,308 miles in that car, as opposed to Slowpoke, who's only done 1,060 in this car. So that would suggest to me that he has a practice car. So he doesn't want to wear out the engine and the chassis, and then obviously have to remember to top up the oil, give it a good old clean. So it basically just sits in the garage Monday to Saturday, takes his test car out, gets all the data that he needs, and then transfers that data over to this car. So anyway, enough of that gobbledygooky stuff that I'm talking about. We'll go down the grid. So you've got Hoyland, who's in 5th, and he's got Nabillion and Port Company. Not quite close enough to make a dent at the moment, Nabillion. Don't think he really will, not on the straights anyway. Addy, he's a little bit on his lonesome. Cashion, again, not really anyone around him. Flash is really on his own. And then, I'm sorry, I'll give you a little bit more airtime, Flash, there you go. That could be the problem sometimes with these endurance races. Because a lot of the guys, even though they'll have different strats, it can spread the field out quite some. And then you only have little sporadic battles, like kind of a battle with Slim and Luggy. But of course, Luggy's on the softs and Slim's on the hard. So let's see how quickly Luggies can catch up to Slim, shall we see? Do you want to see that? I know I want to see that, because there's not really a lot going on really anywhere else. Only up probably top corner, the first of the hairpin. We'll go back to that in a second, but we'll just have a look around here. As we can see, Slim's moved over to the right, so that to me looks like he's kind of probably done the right thing there, thinking, right, he would have been in the pits, he's coming out on the softs, I'm on the much harder durable compound, so I might as well let him go, because maybe he's thinking in that way, my race is not with lug nuts. You're just delaying the inevitable, because he's 2 compounds softer. And back into 12th, we've got good old Sid, just taking in that scenery. Back up to the top, we have IQ4, so he is about to start lap 15 out of 22, and what an absolute dominant race this is turning out to be for IQ4. Maybe he had the right idea where he qualified on pole, put yourself a set of softs on, pull that gap out ahead of everybody else, and then hopefully, well, because he's on the medium, so he's obviously gone soft. He's going to go soft, medium, hards. But he'll only have to run the hards for probably about 2 laps. That's probably actually a pretty good strategy for him. As we can see, Slowpoke, he's coming to the pits now. Slowpoke was on the hards, he's done the mediums, and now he's going to come out on the softs, I do believe. As he goes through the underpass. Big up URL, Mark Wilson, Slowpoke Racing, as you can see there. So as he comes out from underneath, that's it. So Slowpoke has made his last stop, and as you can see, he hasn't even had to bother filling up. So it's just a case of who has what tyre in what top part of the race. But that has put him all on his own. So he'll catch up to the back of these shortly, I'd expect. So as we see, Castian's picked up another half-second penalty, so he's racking the points up, isn't he, old Castian? In terms of penalty points, I think the track's wide enough as it is. I can't honestly see where you keep going off to get a half-second penalty. Nothing to report on Hairy Cam, I'm afraid. They've all been behaving. So as Castian comes down the back of the first of the straights, here we go, up into the chicane, which splits first and second along the straights. Goes nice and across, foot flat to the floor. Serve that another half-second penalty, which is quite brutal on a track like this, because every half-second penalty you're getting, it's a half-second on this one. I think you end up losing probably about 1.5 seconds by the time. He lost 7 tenths, yeah, 7 tenths on that. He didn't lose too much, but where is he getting? Pardon me. Where is he getting these half-second penalties? I don't think I saw anyone. Not normally you get half-second penalties. Well, not in my race, because obviously we race in Group 3s. So, I mean, there's nothing to say that I can sit here and go, oh yeah, I'm a far more superior driver because I'm racing in Group 3s. I'm not saying that at all. Group 3s are just a little bit harder to drive. A lot of them are like rear end. Oh, here we go. Okay. Is this where Castian... Let's have a look. It's always interesting to see where you're picking up these half-second penalties. So you're definitely going to pick up some there. And... let's come out of this, shall we? Because I don't actually want to get poor old Castian in trouble. Not for that. Blimey. Okay, let's leave him to it, shall we? I don't want to get him... Oh, let's cut a corner there. Man, you're standing on aim cam. Let's have a look. How many corners can Castian cut? The Castian cut corners. Here we go. That's not too bad. Still all 4 tyres over the white line. As you come up to 100 metre marker board, start braking at the 50. Goes out nice and wide, all over the marbles, which is probably not what you want to do. Hangs it out, and straight down the first of the straights. Now, will he learn his lesson? We'll find out, won't we? I'm not trying to get you in trouble, Castian. I just want to see whether that's actually just you doing the virtual race line. So again, for the second lap in a row, we're going to see Castian serve his half-second penalty. He takes this part really well, to be fair. As he's supporting there, the old sponsors there, the old Dubbies, not part of URL anymore. Just he got the old sponsors on there, but he hasn't even got the new sponsors on there. So Dubbies getting free advertisement at the expense of Prop Up and Co. Oh no. Admin won't be happy about that. Well, it's too late now, the season's ended. Oh dear. Oh, I'll pop up and go. No sponsorship. Let's have a look, let's see how we go. So, I wouldn't say that was too bad. Come round here. Around the hotel section. I'm pretty sure you was told that you had to Look, pop up with Cole on here. Pretty sure he did, didn't he? I'm not sure. Where we go? Have a look. You gonna get round there? Okay. Let's just leave him. Let's leave Cash into it, shall we? Yeah, we'll leave him to it. We'll go back up to the top. Oh no, here we go. We've actually found, after a hairy cam inspection of Cashin, who's quite clearly cutting quite a lot of corners. We'll just leave him to it. It's not getting him anywhere, to be fair. He's still down to 7. So here we are, lap 17 of 22. And let's have another look around here. So he's right. So let's have a look at this lad here. He's being a good boy because he's got prop up and co. He's being a good boy because he also has prop up and co. Hoyland's not being a good boy because he doesn't have prop up and co on his car. The actual sponsors. Lebillion, he's a good boy because he has prop up and co. Still prop up and co. Good. Slowpoke, prop up and co. He doesn't even have the correct sponsor on there, whether he's been told or not, I don't know. Flash, prop up and co. Lugnuts, prop up and co. Addy, prop up and co. Slim, prop up and co. Sid, prop up and co. So the only culprit, obviously, is Cashin. Maybe he's not been told that we're not sponsored by W anymore. We're sponsored by Prop Up and Co. So there's just a highlight for you guys. Just have a look at. Like I said, it's penultimate race anyway, so it doesn't really matter now, does it? All the rest of the boys are doing it anyway. We've only got 12, by the way. I know it's late into the race, 12. Some have not been able to make it throughout the rest of the season, which is a real shame. But you know, sometimes life gets in the way of these lads racing, so can't help that, I'm afraid. But like I said, we are up into first spot. We are with IQ40, one of the Scandi boys. Very commanding race he has from start to nearly finish, as you can see. Max, he is in second spot with quite a sizable gap back there to IQ4. He's running on the softs, as I've just said. So I don't think he's really going to be in trouble by still, as you can see, because Max is miles up ahead there. But who is going to have one eye on the podium and the other eye on the rear view mirror will be still, because he's got Slowpoke for company. So lap 18 out of 22, so what's that? He's 19, 20, 22. So you've got about 4 laps left. They're both on the soft, so this is going to come down to a driver technicality skills, effectively, of who's going to want it more, who wants that final step on the podium. So this is going to be an out-and-out race by these two, and as far as I can see, there's not really anything else going on at the moment. Lebillion and Hoyland, they're in the same boat, both on the softs, and so they'll be to the end, I think. Castian, he's going to be coming in by the looks of it, because his tyres are knackered from going off track and picking up all their marbles everywhere. Well, that's even if Castian's even been in. Has he even been in? I don't know. I've not seen tyres. I can't watch that. I've not seen tyres that low. Has he done 18 laps on these? Surely not. I'm not picking on you, Castian. I'm just your tyres are nearly worn out, so I don't know whether you've actually been in the pit. So you've done 18 laps on a set of soft, but you've got to come in at some point if you haven't already been in. So yeah, so we'll leave Castian alone. All the while you got Flash, because Castian's tyres are nearly done. Here we go, Castian's going to come in. There we go. He's finally decided, I've had enough of these softs, they're done. As Flash will go through to take that 7th spot off Castian. Lugnuts, he's coming round the start of hotel section. He might, so I think he will probably, he will pass, he will get past Castian, because Castian's putting fuel in. I didn't think you need fuel. I don't think where we got the memo. Poor old Cashew. Let's have a look and see what he comes out on, shall we? Surely he's not going to come out on the softs. Or maybe he just don't care. Maybe he's like, do you know what? The season's over. I'm just gonna race him what I like. But he's come out on the hards. There we go. So he'll finish the race on the hards. He's down in 9th. Addy, he's on the softs. I think he's quite a way back from Cashin, so I don't think Cashin's going to have any issues. Slim's in 11th and Sid in 12th. As we can see, the race leader, he is now in. What's the next guy? So the next guy's maxed. So IQ4, he's coming in. I think IQ4's he's going to come out on the hards, isn't he? If Max doesn't come in now, as he goes round the last corner, IQ4's through the tunnel. You should just see. There he is. So IQ4's on the hards. Max, he's on the softs. As we see, Slope, I missed it. Did I miss it? I think Slowpoke got past. He's got past still. I've missed that. I can't go back. Sorry. It's late. I can't go back. But great overtake there. Sorry I've missed it. So the race is on. Can Max, with 2 laps to go, catch this young fella? I'm gonna say no. He looks too far ahead, but hey, anything can happen. So this is your podium at the moment. IQ4, Max and Slowpoke. Not quite a done deal yet for Slowpoke because he's got still 4 company and still thinking I want to have that last step on the podium. So we're just going to stay with these two just for now. But the real question is, okay, yeah, he looks like he's pulled out a bit of a gap over still, so that looks like they're stalled out a little bit. Hoyland, he's got enough of a gap back to the billion, so they've been at that kind of like distance for quite some time now, these two guys. Flash, there's nothing going on with Flash, he's down to 7th. Luggy, he really is on his own, so his tyres are pretty much done, so that'll be him to the end of the race. Cashin, who's out on the hard, depending on whether he can actually stay on track, because he couldn't even stay on track with the softs, so it'd be interesting to see if he can stay on track with the hards. Addy, he's in 10th spot, nothing doing for him. He's got Slim for company, but he's got more tyre, he's got less wear than Slim, should we say. And Sid just doing what Sid does, just enjoying his Sunday night, just racing around. So let's go back up to IQ4 and let's see where Max is. That's Max, that's IQ4. Max, IQ4. I don't honestly, there we go, there's IQ4 there. I don't honestly think he's going to have enough. I don't think he's going to have enough time because the problem is it's the corners. Really, I don't know, let's have a look again. I mean, he's got 1 more lap, but he is quite a way back. So unless he closes up round here, I'm not sure. As we can see here, so Slowpoke, he's starting to put out a bit of a gap on Still, so he's looking to consolidate that 3rd place on the podium. Still's trying with all his might to spoil Slowpoke's evening. Hoyland and the Billion, they're still at the same distance as they are. And we know that Lugnuts is on his own, Cashin's on his own, Addy's on his own pretty much with Slim and Sid. So the real question is, I honestly don't think, I don't know. I mean, it does look like he is gaining and Max has got the fastest lap. Let's have a look behind us and see where, there's Max there. Obviously you're not going to see him here because you're going through the hotel section, but look how slow IQ4 is having to go as opposed to Max. So Max is coming around here. So turn, so the last of the turn here, let's call it, there's Max there. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have enough. I honestly don't think he is. I think IQ4's got this in the bag unless something goes wrong. I don't think Max is going to have enough. So these are guaranteed at least first or second. I think it's going to finish this way by the looks of it. Slowpoke, he's starting to put out a little bit of a gap over Still. So this will be now, it'll be between, I don't even know whether they're, I don't even know actually, because you think Hoyland and Billy have been at that space for quite some time. So that's the exact same gapping you've got between Slowpoke and Still. So, don't know, we'll see. As we see, oh, look at this. Let's have a look. Where is he? There he is. There is Max. There is Max. Yeah, like I say, I don't think it's enough. Valiant effort there from Max. But to be fair, there is still another straight to go. So how late? When does IQ4 break? Between the 100 and 150. When does Max break? 100, 150. So pretty even on the braking. He can just get around these corners a little bit. But as you can see, his right side tyre, he's starting to punish him now. So I think that's going to finish where it is. My money's on it's going to finish like this, to be fair. Third and fourth. It's going to be pretty close. I think Slowpoke's being a little bit cautious there because he's starting to open the door for Still. But what we're going to do, we're going to go back down the grid quickly. So Still's in form. Hoyland, he's now got the billion, even closer for company. There's so many battles going on right at the end. I don't know which to pick. Splash is in 7th, Castron's in 8th, 9th, sorry. Addy's in 10th, Slim's in 11th, Sid's in 12th. And here we go, as I fall. We'll do this like here, what a great view. So, 2 corners to go for IQ on the last lap of the penultimate round. Valiant, fantastic from start to finish, never looked like being bothered, did he? So here we go, the last corner. Get it right, and we've got to take our hat off and we've got to congratulate IQ4 for finishing in first place. Well done there, Max. A fantastic drive from you in second spot. And who's going to finish last on the podium? Because look at this, it's side by side for the last corner. Still doesn't want to give it up, but here we go. It's a photo finish almost. Slowpoke and Still. Let's go back and have a look at that. So what's been going on here? Is this a case of Slowpoke's been a little bit too cautious? Because he nearly threw that podium away, didn't he? Let's have a look behind us. I think he is. I think he's being too cautious because Still's gained some momentum on the outside. Here we go. Slowpoke's heart must be pounding. Look at this. And Still actually got a better... Just about. Well done to these 2 guys. Coming across the line in 5th. It's going to be Hoyland. Congratulations for Hoyland. In 6th, we've got Lebillion. In 7th, coming round the start of the hotel section, is Flash. So he's going to finish. He's going to finish in 7th. When he gets there, he'll be there any minute, folks. Don't worry. He'll be there any minute. Probably like desperate to get across that start-finish line so he can grab a bottle of water. Probably completely out of it in the car. So Flash will cross the line in 7th. And then we're just going to wait for Lugnuts. The Lugnuts. 2 turns left. He's going to cross the line. Down to 1 turn. Here we go. Last corner on them very worn softs. Last corner to go, Lugnuts. Great racing from this guy. So he's going to cross the line in 8th. Congratulations. In 9th. Who's going to pick up half second penalty, but that's going to cost him, that is. I don't know how far Addy is back. That'll be a 1 second penalty for crossing that line, but Addy's too far back to take advantage of that. So here we go, last corner for Addy to finish lap 22. He crosses the line in 10th, Slim crosses the line in 11th, and we wait for Sid here to come through the hotel sector. So come up to... He's almost there, he's almost on the start-finish line. Comes across, last corner. Nice cut of the curb that is, that's lovely. So Sid was crossed the line in 12th. Well, I must say that was actually a pretty entertaining race towards the end and at the beginning. As I said earlier on, you know, the mid-sector is always always a little bit boring because it can space out and then they just all go about their daily business and then they all concertina up again in certain batches for the last stint. But it's been an absolute pleasure recording this for you. So you've been with the URL, Harry Poppins Race Channel, for the Ultimate Racing League, the Sunday League. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have at the Yas Marina circuit. The skies have been clear for us this evening, which is it's good for these lads. So they've got their race out of the way, and now they'll be boarding their flights to our next destination, and it's the last race of the season. And I'll have the score table up for the next round so we can see who's where. But it is at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve, so we are flying from the Middle East of the Arab Emirates all the way to Canada. So I look forward to seeing you there. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye now.